This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Your neighborhood just got cooler with Kroger Delivery's refrigerated trucks. Simply order groceries at the same great prices online as in-store, and we'll bring them to you fresh every time. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can now earn 4 times the fuel points after 4 with your digital coupon. Choose a next-day Kroger Delivery time slot for 4 p.m. or later on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Must deliver by February 4th. Restrictions apply. See Kroger.com for details.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. I've mentioned it before on both Keep Watch Pass and on It's Not That Bad that there are genres out there that aren't necessarily my cup of tea. Horror is one of those genres, but that doesn't mean I don't watch a horror film, doesn't mean I don't necessarily avoid horror films. It's just not my go-to. But for this episode, I'm making an exception because we're talking about the genre of horror films. And here to join me on this episode, my definitely not a horrible wife, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm good. Wow. I was like, oh, where's he going with this one? My corpse bride? What?
Oh, see, that would have been so much better.
Well, you need to consult me then.
Previous. Maybe you should start writing things down because that would be me not writing anything down and just coming up with things on the fly. For the record, I am completely and utterly unprepared for these things. So whenever I riff something off, it's off the top of my head and it's usually horrible. But thanks for sticking around anyways, people. Really appreciate you. So Carrie, keep watching past picks for horror films. Now, I know you're kind of like me. You're not a big horror person, and in the previous keep watch passes for movies of the past couple of years, Terrifier has been on your pass list of all time. So I'm going to ask you, horror films, where do you sit in the genre?
The horror. Again, it's not my go-to, and it's very rare that I enjoy a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that I pass pretty consistently on Terrifier, I think it's because, in all honesty, I am terrified because of the reports of people like having physical symptoms of passing out and heart attacks and stuff watching this movie. It scares the hell out of me, just the concept of watching the movie.
And yet you still eat a Taco Bell.
And I like to live dangerously once in a while.
Right?
Driving, from a Comic-Con next to Art the Clown, who clearly...
Not the actual actor, but someone cosplaying.
This guy was living his best life on the 401 dressed as Art the Clown.
Okay, but
scaring drivers like me.
Pennywise and Art the Clown get into a fight. Who wins?
Ooh, Art. I don't know.
I think Pennywise wins.
You know what? Again, it's not my genre, and I mean, I'm not even a fan of Halloween, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but anyone wearing a mask kind of scares me. Because it's like, why? Why are you wearing a mask on a Tuesday?
And yet you wear a sleep mask. And I'm terrified.
Because I like it dark when I sleep. But then, someone wakes me up with a breakfast in bed and I jump the hell out of the bed. So,
well, maybe if you didn't wear the sleep mask, you wouldn't be like, where's that noise? What is that noise? Why is it so dark in here? Oh, I have a mask on.
And coffee.
Exactly. Like if that smell doesn't wake you up like gently, you're doing it wrong. Or I made the coffee bad. One of the two. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 3 movies out of the grand expanse of the horror genre and pick 3 each. A keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep is one that, even though we're not necessarily fans of the genre, we still enjoy the film. The watch is one that, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And the pass is one that no matter how many people vomit in the aisles, we're still not going to go.
Oh, but you know me with the vomit thing. I'm not good with vomit. So
yeah. So let me explain, dear listeners here. You know how like when something scary happens and people's instinct is to look away. That's Carrie with vomit on screen. No matter how fake it is. Even in Team America, when there's a marionette vomiting its wooden guts out in the alley, she's like, oh, tell me when it's over. I can still hear him retching.
It's very triggering. Why are you bringing that up after breakfast?
Pass me my sleep mask and take it off when the scene is over.
I'm triggered.
Well, luckily, we're not talking about vomit films here. Although, that being said...
No, I would quit. I would quit the show right then and there. I'm telling you, dear listeners, if you really want me off the show, request vomit films. And that's it. I'm done.
You don't want to go play in the vomitorium?
Oh.
No? Okay. So let's get back on track here. And I'm
not feeling so good.
Start the party with your keep horror movie.
Okay, you know what? I am so excited to circle back to this movie. And I admit, I watched it first under duress of having to do the assignment for grading on a curve. But
Cats?
I was forced to watch Mousetrap.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cats, because that's a horror film.
And you know what? I freaking loved this movie. I loved it so much that I can't stop thinking about how much I loved Mousetrap, friends. Okay, again, horror, not my genre, not my go-to, not my cup of tea. But I would watch Mousetrap again and again and again, and I'm keeping that one on rotation. It had all the check marks, right? It was funny. It was hip. It was freaking this dude running around in a Mickey Mouse mask. So you know what? You know my love for Disney properties. And I get that it's because of Steamboat Willie and the expiry of the property, the licensing on Mickey Mouse, or
the public domain.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's become basically fair game.
Right.
Anyone can do anything they want now with that property because it's public domain.
Because yeah. So now, but you know what? This movie from the get-go, from the start, the rip on the Star Wars scroll of font and the humor that they led with. Again, it was fun. It was funny. It kind of brought me back to the hometown. Okay. Was it your typical horror movie? Yeah. Could you call, out of a group of friends, who's going to die and who's going to survive? Maybe, right? It was twisted and it had just completely out there characters. And I'm talking about the cop with the beaver teeth.
Nick Biskupic.
That was literally grilling that poor girl who really, wasn't she a victim? Really? Didn't she go through a traumatic event and didn't deserve his constant interrogation? Maybe. Watch to the end. Again, I loved it. I know it's not my go-to and it's not one that I normally talk about, but I cannot stop raving.
I think if they had stayed in the meta realm and kind of made fun of the genre while being in the genre, I think I would have enjoyed it more. The ending pissed me off. It did.
I know.
And if you've listened to our Grading on a Curve Movies of 2024 special that dropped on New Year's Day, then you know how I feel about that film. But one thing I didn't really get a chance to talk about too much, because of course we were in a roundtable format on that episode, was that I think part of the reason why I was so angry with this film is that Sophie McIntosh, who played Alex, the main girl, right? Mm-hmm. The girl you thought was the final girl.
And, you're going there.
But we already did. We talked about it in the grading on a curve. If they were going to build a franchise, and they're building a franchise because there's a sequel coming, she's the kind of actress that you want to build that franchise around. You take a look at some of the best slasher horror franchises, and it centers around one main person, for at least for a couple of films, until they finally get tired and then kill me off, right? Looking at you, Jamie Lee Curtis. But I really enjoyed Sophie McIntosh in this. I thought she was fantastic. I was like, if she's the final girl, which she should be, but she wasn't, and yeah, I know, that I would have been happy to watch the second Mickey film.
Okay, but don't you love that they actually were bold enough to end her game? You know what?
In the worst ending. Like, the thing is,
I never got to ask her out.
That's the thing. Like, if you're going to kill off the supposed final girl, you need to make that kill feel like it's got consequences. Feel like on the edge of your seat. It's just like, oh, Mickey appears and chops her head off. Okay,
I loved because you don't expect to see it coming, right? Like, it would have been too cookie cutter if they had let her live. And I really like the end character. I'm not going to say too much, but you know what? I love seeing that character continue.
Let me circle back to one of the Halloween films that we covered. And if I remember correctly, it was like the one where like Jamie Lee Curtis was like front and center on the poster. It's all good. And then they kill her off in like the first 10 minutes. And it felt so cheap. And then it felt like a different movie afterwards because there was nothing to it. Like,
the Halloween franchise.
Yeah. Like, and then of course, like she's back somehow, whatever, right? The thing is, you teased us with a Jamie Lee Curtis film and then you kill her off in the first 10 minutes. And it felt like a short film, and then they should like play the real film. Like, no.
You know what though? Again, I like that. That's a bold move. It's kind of like, you know, you're excited. You're like, okay, we're going to revisit the character that we know, the comfort that we know, and then they take it away, and then it's like, well, what the hell? What am I left with? I kind of like that. If you're talking about a horror movie, you want to be scared. You want to not see it coming. You want to like, again, once that comfort is gone, what do you have left? And that is the epitome of a horror movie.
I think I'm just pissed off because Sophie McIntosh was absolutely the best part of Mickey's Mousetrap. And now we don't get to have her move on.
She really was. And really, it was a dumb move because now who's going to show up for work tomorrow?
Right? Oh, I have a feeling they're going to be closed for cleaning for a little bit. Just
the ball pit is indefinitely closed.
Yeah. And definitely like the crawl through tunnels where not only did one couple have sex, but then they got killed.
Spoiler alert, like a mofo.
Right? I'm going to make Fun Haven seem real special now whenever you bring your kids there, people.
But that just follows the rules. You don't have sex, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Apparently don't have candies, sour candies from across the world.
Right. And
which was the sweetest thing.
But don't be mean to the final girl. Well, the movie was mean to the final girl. Whew.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Mickey's Mousetrap, whatever. Anyways, my keep pick, I'm going to a different slasher franchise. And I'm going all the way back to Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. This is, in my personal opinion, the best Nightmare on Elm Street. And even if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, there are only 3 Nightmare on Elm Street films that do not qualify for It's Not That Bad. The original, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is kind of a little meta, and this one, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. You had Chuck Russell in the director's chair for this, for the first time in the franchise, and putting the franchise into the psych ward with Patricia Arquette as your final girl. Like, there was so much good about this film, and because it took it away from like just your typical, oh, let's go after the kids in the house and they're gonna have a party. No. These are people who are literally in a psych ward, and like, so all of a sudden they're like not sleeping, and they're forcing themselves not to sleep, so they're getting a little bit even crazier. And the doctor's like, no, just give them their meds. Let's get them to sleep. Like, it was a much more, not necessarily claustrophobic atmosphere, but I think the setting definitely fit better for a Freddy film. The other thing too is that this is when the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise started having fun, like even more fun with the kills. And that's the thing about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. The more elaborate and like kind of wink and a nod that the kills, the kill dreams are, great. That's awesome. When it's just like, oh, I put you in a dark room and there's steam and it's scary. No. Have fun with it. Get into their dreams. And that's what Freddy does, and this film really started to get into that.
I totally agree. I loved this movie. Like, as a kid growing up, I remember this one, like, it tormented my dreams for a little bit.
Right?
It was fun, though.
Also, how can you not think of this title and not instantly think, we're the Dream Warriors? That Dawkins song is now stuck in all of your heads. Sorry, not sorry. I'm totally not sorry. But now it's stuck in your head. All right. For my watch film, I'm going with a different style of horror film. And I'm going to the movie that kind of not just kickstarted, but definitely defines the genre of the found footage horror film. And I'm going with the Blair Witch Project.
I love that you mentioned this. And I actually had a note to say that we'll always have Blair Witch.
Right? But I mean, here's the thing. They marketed this film so well because they didn't let the actors appear at any kind of conventions or press conferences. It was very much like people were wondering if this was real. And it was because it was so different, right? It was shot on a total shoestring budget and so cheaply made, which adds to it. In this case, it adds to it. The shaky cam, the bad colorization of videotape. Hey, everyone, remember videotape? Now everyone just records on SD card or their phones, but still, regardless, like, it perfectly fit that franchise. And I cannot stress how important this film was to the horror genre because it gave people a new type of horror film to really get into.
And also made the woods a very scary place at night.
Right. But that's the thing. It was set in a setting that you could easily see. Like,
yeah. Want to go camping? No. Let's go through a walk through the woods. No.
I mean, let's be honest too. Anyone who has watched this film or watched the trailer and whatnot, it's like, exactly how much snot was up Heather Donahue's nose because it was all kind of dripping out. Because that's the thing. It was so raw and visceral, right? Like, they didn't glam these people up. They didn't do anything, right? It was just very much, let's put them in the woods, give them a couple of cameras, shoot everything, and go with it. And that's what it was. And because they stuck to, they committed to the bit. They made it feel real. And there was no, there was no like real credits. There was no like, oh, hey, and this person played this person and this person. No, there was no actor credits. It was just like, this is the documentary. This is the compilation of the footage that we put together. And the ambiguous ending, there's no happy ending to this. There's no, big crazy fight. It's just like ambiguous ending and then darkness. And
but didn't they make a sequel?
Well, they did make a sequel.
And that ruined it.
Of course it did.
It should have just left it alone.
Yeah.
And then it would have been completely fine, because at that point, it would have left people thinking, okay, what was it that I just saw? Like, did I literally just see someone's demise? Yeah. Like, what was that?
Like, you put this in perspective, right? The film was made on a budget between $200,000 and $750,000, according to Wikipedia. Box office, $248.6 million. Like, this may be the most profitable film on a return versus investment basis that's ever been made. Like, of course they were going to make a sequel, because of course that's Hollywood. But this film started a different genre. So then you have movies like Apollo 18 that came out, Quarantine, and then of course you have all the Paranormal Activity films, which is all like just locked off cameras, because it's like, yeah, we're investigating this house and all. Like, Paranormal Activity doesn't happen if Blair Witch wasn't as successful as it was. And it's not like this film was like direct to DVD or direct to VHS, considering when it came out. It went to theaters, and it was a moment. This was a pop culture zeitgeist moment. And because no one had ever seen anything like this, not to this level of success. And because they committed to how they produced it and how they promoted it, it was brilliant. All right, your watch pick for horror films.
Okay, well, I'm so psyched that you brought up Blair Witch. But I know we've talked about this movie before. I love me the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that this is a band that just has fun and does what they want. And I loved Studio 666. And I loved their hardcore deathcore band
Dream Widow.
Dream Widow that they created for this movie, or because of this movie. Anyway, Studio 666 gets a tip of my hat for a watch film. If it's on and I'm feeling like, hey, yeah, I want to see Dave Grohl like viciously eat a steak that's so juicy. And if I want Dave Grohl to scare the hell out of me, then yeah, I'll watch it.
Right. I mean, it's so meta, and it knows exactly what it is. And I freaking love that. Again, they just had fun with it. Like, and this is, obviously as they were, recording an album and whatnot, they're like, yeah, let's do a horror film too while we're at it. Because why the heck not?
But
right?
The kills were so, again, to your point about making them humorous, but they were so violent too. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, I think one of my favorite is like Nate Mendel, the bassist from the Foo Fighters, when Dave's trying to explain to him the H chord, right? And he's just like, so I'll just pedal E. And as a bassist, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, he gets it. He so gets it. Like, when all else fails, just pedal the E. That's all you have to do. Just as a bassist, I enjoyed that. All right. Your pass horror film.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. As much as I enjoyed the bringing back Mickey Mouse from Mousetrap, I was so looking forward to this next property that I'm about to mention. But what the hell were you thinking? with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, making Pooh this like slimy, drooling, horrible, disgusting character. Winnie the Pooh is supposed to be huggy and cuddly and like a sweet bear. You horrible people, making him like just this fat trailer park dude drooling over everybody with a pig mask. The hell is that? I wanted to see Tigger bouncing around and Eeyore moping in the corner and Piglet just being so full of energy and life. And what the was that? I'm sorry.
I'm sensing some trauma from that episode.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. So let me just put this into perspective here. The first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey had a 3% tomatometer. I'm just taking a look at 2024's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Popcorn meter, 73%. Tomatometer, 47%. So we can still talk about the sequel if you want to talk about the sequel.
But did we really need to revisit it? My point to this is Mousetrap made the Mickey or Steamboat Willie property fun. At least they made it fun.
Yes.
They had, this dude watching old animated episodes of Steamboat Willie and drinking his beer, and then they had the mask, and you just know going down. But they made it fun. Whereas there was nothing fun about the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey franchise. Nothing fun. It was just disgusting. It was literally this like filthy, horrible, disgusting person with a pig mask. Like there was nothing. I wanted to see some entertainment value. I wanted to see something that made it watchable. And I'm sorry to rip on it, but holy hell, it was not watchable.
I shudder to tell you what's coming in 2025. There is a film coming. And I'm going to Pooniverse.
What?
Pooniverse Monsters Assemble apparently is slated for a 2025 release.
Are you joking right now?
I want to read the description here, okay? Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit, Owl, Piglet, Pinocchio, Sleeping Beauty, Bambi, the Mad Hatter, Peter Pan, and Tinkerbell join forces to wreak bloody havoc.
Tell me Christopher Robin is in it.
Christopher Robin is in it, played by Scott Chambers, who played Christopher Robin in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, but not in the first one.
Ah.
So yeah, the Pooniverse is coming.
Okay, well, to be fair, though, was there not already a franchise with, like, Snow White and the Disney property princesses that was like a horror take?
I don't remember that one. But I mean, like now that these characters, because I mean, yeah, 2025, right? You've got Bambi the Reckoning, you got Popeye the Slayer Man, you have all these properties that are now all of a sudden public domain. And it's funny because I was actually reading some of the works that have become public domain this year, because January 1st is public domain day. So once these properties get to a certain age, they can all be riffed on. And I'm just like, okay, so this is available now and this is available now. So now you've got the Pooniverse.
Okay, but don't with Tinkerbell.
I want to see Tinkerbell wreck some shit up.
Oh my God.
Because
she's just on the pixie dust.
Right. Oh, so she's going to be like some little crack whore fairy in the corner, like, with an itch kind of thing.
Oh.
And she's beating the shit out of people with her wand so she can get more.
Oh my. Oh, I'm strangely intrigued and horrified all in one.
Right? The thing is, these films aren't going away anytime soon because from a production standpoint, they can be relatively cheap to make. And you don't need a big name star in the film to sell it, because your big name star is cracked out Tinkerbell apparently for Poohniverse, but you got like honey dripping frickin' Winnie the Pooh is your star. That's all you need. Winnie the Pooh and a frickin' sledgehammer. That will sell your film.
Now, is it the same like Pooh character from the movie?
Ish. So even in Winnie the Pooh 2, the costume got a total upgrade.
It did.
Yeah. Like the first one, creepy as hell, right? The second one, much more realistic. I'm glad you brought this film up though, because when we were talking,
I'm not.
I know you're not, but when we were talking about Mickey's Mousetrap and like my anger that Sophie McIntosh didn't make it to the end, here was another one that you thought you knew who the final girl was going to be. What really the final girl is actually Christopher Robin, but the last girl that got killed in that film, that felt weighty. That felt like tense and very intense. And Sophie McIntosh got done dirty in Mickey's Mousetrap. I think the kills in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, while they weren't fun, this wasn't supposed to be a fun meta film. Mickey's Mousetrap was.
I know you think so, but you know what? I'm still okay with it. I'm still okay with it because you know what? It was, you didn't see it coming. And because it was so shocking that, oh my God, we're here. And oh my God, he's holding her head.
Yeah.
Her severed head. Like, okay, we did not see that coming, and that happened. And that was the you thought you knew how this was going down. No, you guys, this is how we're going. And this now becomes our main character. Dun, dun, dun. So I liked it. I'm okay with.
I know you did.
I'm okay with breaking the horror
norms.
Movie rules. Like I'm okay with, straying from the norm or doing something that you don't expect.
I mean, I'm fine, and that's why I didn't mind Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Plus, I found Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey had much better cinematography than Mickey's Mousetrap did.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't be friends anymore. What did you just say? You preferred the Winnie franchise?
Yeah.
I loved, you know what, though, you mentioned the cinematography. I kind of loved that Mousetrap felt like literally like a college project.
Yeah.
It totally felt like something that we could have done when we were in film school.
Well, we couldn't because Mickey Mouse wasn't, public domain. We couldn't use his likeness.
No, but in high school, I offed Barney 100 times to Megadeth's 99 Ways to Die.
Okay, well, Barney deserves to die. So,
but you know what? That's my point, though. In college projects, when it's not for public viewing, you could do whatever the f*** you want.
Yeah, but they released it as a film.
Well, so when does Barney's likeness expire?
Oh, you're waiting for this now.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I've got the music video and everything. I'm good.
Oh, dear God. By the way, grab a pen and paper, dear listeners. I'm going to with your head a little bit here. Just bear with me here before I get to my pass pick. I want you to write down what Barney is, okay? Write this down on paper. Cute purple dinosaur. Okay? Write it down. Big capital letters. Cute purple dinosaur. Now, I want you to take every U in those three words and change those U's to a V. All right? I'll give you a little second here. Change every U to a V. Cool? I really hope you wrote this down in pencil, because the next thing I'm going to get you to do is to erase every letter that is not a Roman numeral. Okay? So your C, you keep. The V's, you keep, right? A T, nope. So erase everything or scratch it out if you wrote it in pen. Sorry, I didn't tell you to write in pencil firsthand. And only leave everything that is a Roman numeral. Now, take all of those Roman numerals and add them together. Okay? So an I is like 1, right? A C is 100, right? Add all of them together. And I'm not going to make you do it yourself. I'm going to tell you what it is. But it totals 666. Therefore, Barney is the devil and deserves to die.
Well, we took care of him in high school.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right? Also, right now, people are sitting there going, the mark of the demon is Barney.
Funny, I thought it would have been Caillou.
Well, Caillou's just a bitch. All right. Well, right now, people are sitting there going, come on, get with your pass pick, Jay. Get with your pass pick. All right. Let me get with my pass pick here, okay? But I'm telling you right now, my pass pick is not because the movie is bad. My pass pick is because the movie creeped the out of me when I watched it. I am never, ever watching The Serpent in the Rainbow again. Never. No. And I know it's not a horror slasher flick kind of thing. But this movie, directed by Wes Craven, starring Bill Pullman, creeped the ever-loving out of me. So you got Bill Pullman going down to Haiti to find this like Haitian voodoo drug and try to bring it back because they think they can use it to make this cool anesthetic or whatever. And it gets into like voodoo and human sacrifice and Bill Pullman being buried alive. And there's just like these really tense moments in the film. I am never watching this. It creeped the hell out of me. Now keep in mind, this came out in 1988, right? So I'm younger when I'm watching this. You ever watch a movie and you can't get it out of your head for like a couple days, maybe a week?
Con.
Okay. No, you have to get something else out of your head with Con.
Oh.
Yeah.
Triggered.
Yeah. But Serpent in the Rainbow creeped me out. And it still bugs me to this day. Like, obviously, that's a kudo to director Wes Craven. Because, you know, you think Wes Craven, you think, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So this is the second Wes Craven produced, I guess, film but no, like this film, you think about it, right? 37 years old now. And I'm still never going to watch it again. That just tells you how good the film is. And yeah, I'm passing for my own. I would rather watch a marathon of Barney episodes than watch The Serpent in the Rainbow again. Because no. All right, Gary. Now that we've got to the end of our list and we've talked about everything here. We've talked Barney, we've talked Freddy, we've talked Mickey, we've talked voodoo being buried alive and
Tinkerbell too.
And snot and vomit. Yeah, we've had everything in this episode here. All right. Remind our listeners what your keep, watch, and pass picks are when it comes to horror films.
Ooh, someone remind me what my keep, watch, pass. I am keeping Mousetrap. I'm still, even after arguing with you about the mouse versus the bear. I'm
Justice for Sophie McIntosh.
I'm watching Studio 666, and I'm passing on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and the honey that is dripping from this horrible pig mask.
And yet you still put honey in your tea. Even after that film, you put honey in your tea. All right, I am keeping Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. I am watching The Blair Witch Project. And I am passing on The Serpent and the Rainbow. God damn you, Wes Craven. You creep me out still to this day. All right, dear listeners, you guys know the drill. If there is a topic that you want us to cover on Keep, Watch, Pass, or a movie that you want us to cover on It's Not That Bad, but don't ask Carrie to do Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2, because I don't think that's going to happen.
Or vomit films.
Hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, make sure you check out our new merch store so you can help support the show. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Keep, Watch, Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.